What's up, everyone? Welcome to This Day in Philly Sports History for November 27th, 2024. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of the podcast. Happy Humpday. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. If you're going out tonight, be safe. There was a point in time where there was no chance I was not going to go out. And now just the thought of it and dealing with the crowds and all of that other stuff just stresses me out. So I will not be going out tonight. We're actually going to the Sixers game. Yeah, I know. But the thought of going to a crowded bar does not appeal to me anymore. I guess that means I'm getting old. Quick programming note. Tomorrow there will be an episode every day. We are here, whether it's a holiday, vacation, whatever. I will bring you the episode. But Thursday and Friday's episode will follow more of a weekend schedule. So if you're used to getting it in your inbox by like 8 o'clock, might be a little bit later tomorrow. But you still will get This Day in Philly Sports History every day, including holidays. Be sure to follow me on social media, Jimbo_Mott at Twitter and TikTok, on Instagram at PhillyJimbo. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Continue to spread the word. That's also at Jimbo_Mott. Lots of good things for coming up for 2025. Working on just some things, some ideas. I got a lot of great things kind of floating around in my head. So just continue to spread the word. We're winding down the gift card portion of our gift and food drive. Still time to give. Whatever you can give would be greatly appreciated. The link is right there in the description. All proceeds will benefit the Maddie and Dixon Community Cupboard. We've almost quadrupled what we donated last year. So let's continue to get those donations in. Just trying to make some holiday magic happen for our friends and neighbors. So we should have a pretty substantial donation to give, but there still is time. Every little bit helps. And if you are going to donate directly to the Maddie and Dixon Community Cupboard, be sure to let them know you're donating for our food drive, just so they kind of know where things are coming from. Starting Sunday, we're going to do our reverse advent calendar. They gave me a list of 14 things that they're looking for. So if you're waiting to participate in that, that's fine too. I'm going to keep the GoFundMe open if you prefer to just donate that way. I'll get more into that on Sunday, but there are other ways. If you want to Amazon stuff to me, if you want to Amazon stuff directly to the Maddie and Dixon Community Cupboard, all kinds of options available for the reverse advent calendar. But let's go make some holiday magic happen. The link is in the description. Any other questions, feel free to reach out to me offline. Also, we were featured in On Pattison yesterday. Be sure to go check them out. Great partnership we have going with them. They have a This Day in Philly Sports History section in their newsletter where they'll highlight my tweets and what we're doing here at the podcast. So go check them out on Pattison. They have a website, but then they do have a daily newsletter that they send out as well. Never too early to start your holiday shopping. If you're like me, you still got about another 2 or 3 weeks before you're even thinking about it. But Philly Goat's got you covered. On top of the hoodies and t-shirts and hats, they have the Thunder Mountain Coffee Black Sabbath Sunday Breakfast Blend available. The Thunder Mountain Coffee Roasters. But the Black Sabbath Sunday Breakfast Blend makes a great gift. Couple it with a Saquon Barkley shirt. And be sure to use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your order. That's phillygoat.com, promo code Jim Montgomery. And then check out my boys at the Clashing Conferences. Should be an interesting NFC East podcast today as well. All of that is happening. Do your Christmas shopping now. It's never too early. All right. Let's start with a recap of yesterday's question of the day. And in honor of Brandon Graham, I said, where does he rank all time? And I tried to make it as realistic as possible. I don't think he cracks the top 10. I said, is he top 20, top 25? Excuse me. I do apologize for the cough. I hate that it comes off so unprofessional. I don't have a dump button to get that out of there. But I do apologize. It's just not professional, but I apologize for that. But 63% of you said Brandon Graham is a top 20 Eagle of all time. I think you can make a strong case for that. I think that is the right way to go. Thank you, as always, for participating in the question of the day. we will have another one later in the show. All right, looking ahead. Eagles-Ravens this weekend. Two of the best teams in their respective conferences. The Eagles opened up as 3-point underdogs. The over-under is 50.5. It seems kind of high, but it's only Wednesday. Haven't really had time to dive in. But these two teams are very similar. Strong running games. Two of the best running backs right now in the game. Quarterbacks who can throw. Quarterbacks who can run. Physical defenses. Should be a fun game to watch. That's 4:25, I believe, on CBS this week. But these teams, and just kind of looking ahead, they always seem to play close games. Like, I can't remember too many blowouts on either side. The only one that really sticks out to me was the game that Donovan got benched in after the tie. But should be a close game. Looking forward to this. Finally, a good measuring stick game for the Eagles against a team that everybody had as a Super Bowl contender. Really going to miss Brandon Graham, I think, in this game. They did sign a couple of guys to the practice squad. Nothing, I mean, these guys have potential, I guess, but it's really hard to find good players on the waiver wire at this point in the season, especially edge rushers who everybody seems like they have. They go to the rotations and are deep at that. So it's going to come up to the next man up. I'm looking at Jalix Hunt, looking at Nolan Smith to really step up and fill those roles. And I think Vic's going to have to adjust. I think he will. He's shown all season he's had time to adjust. So I'm anxious to see how that plays out. But they are going to be tested this weekend with Lamar Jackson. But we'll have more on this game as the week progresses. They're practicing today. The big injury news we're watching is Devontae Smith going to play? Be a huge boost for the Eagles if he does play. I think they were able to win without him relatively easily, but I think Baltimore is going to provide a different type of test. They're actually pretty good against the run. So this is probably going to be one of those games that Jalen is going to have to throw the ball. So having all his weapons available would be key. So we'll have more on that as we get more news on Devontae. Flyers are in Nashville tonight, looking to remain hot, looking to play smart and everything. So this will be another good test for a young team. And then the Sixers. No Joe, no PG, no Kyle Lowry. Caleb Martin didn't practice, so I'm not sure what team going to be watching tonight, but I am looking forward to seeing Maxey and McCain play together. And it's a shame because we got tickets through my wife's work. We get to go down on the court and see them warm up, and was really looking forward to seeing the kids see Joe up and close. Hopefully he'll be there at least for the shoot-around portion, but either way, it should be a good time. It's always fun to take them down there and see, especially with their basketball season starting. And I know they both like Tyrese as well, so maybe they'll become Jarrett McCain fans. But we'll have more on the Sixers Rockets tonight or tomorrow as they play tonight down at the Wells Fargo Center. All right, today, speaking of 2008, we're going to go back to 2008 today. And on this day in 2008, on Thanksgiving night down at the Link, the Eagles came in 5-5-1. Donovan had just come off that benching to that game. They got blown out by the Ravens. Cardinals came in leading the NFC West with Kurt Warner. The Eagles, though, came in as 3-point favorites to this game, and it did not take long to figure out why. Fireworks started midway through the first quarter. Eagles actually scored double digits in each of the four quarters en route to a 48-20 trouncing of the Cardinals on Thanksgiving night. And this was the start of an improbable journey for them to get to the NFC Championship, which ironically enough was a rematch against the Cardinals. In this game, though, McNabb came off the bench and threw for 260 yards, 4 touchdowns. Brian Westbrook ran wild, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also added 2 receiving touchdowns. Great start to your fantasy day if you had Brian Westbrook. Defense forced 4 turnovers, held the Cardinals to 260 yards. That, like I said, that Eagles team, though, after this game would start an improbable run. They'd win 3 of their next 4 and get a ton of help to make it into the playoffs and then made the most of their opportunity going all the way to the NFC Championship game, in a game still to this day I feel they should have won. McNabb gave them the lead. The defense kind of let them down on that. But on this day in 2008, excuse me, sorry, the Eagles played the Cardinals on Thanksgiving night, winning 48-20, igniting an improbable, nearly impossible route to the NFC Championship game. We'll have more on that as we get into December, but lots of crazy things happened for the Eagles to make the playoffs that year, and then they made the run to the NFC Championship game. All right, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We've been focusing on what we're thankful for here in Philly sports, all in honor of our gift and food drive for the Maddie N. Dixon Community Cupboard. Today we're going to go to baseball, and today we are thankful for Nick Castellanos. And believe it or not, for all of the troubles that the Phillies had chasing pitches, Nick Castellanos was their most consistent hitter throughout the year this past season. And he's like the number one guy that chases pitches. So I know the irony is there. But for the season, he hit .254, 23 homers, 86 RBI. And he helped keep them afloat. When everybody went cold there midway through the summer, Nick Castellanos was the only guy that did stay consistent. He did play in all 162 games, so maybe it was something to do with that. And I mistakenly said the other day that Zach Wheeler was the only one that showed up in the postseason. Nick Castellanos showed up as well. In that series against the Mets, he hit 412, a homer, a double, and 3 RBI. And he is the closest thing that this team has to any type of swag or attitude. You got to love his post-game press conferences. I see the ball, I hit the ball. I don't really have an approach, which again is all just for show because obviously he has some type of approach. But he is one guy that has recently been floated around in trade rumors. And I told you I'm not really getting into all the trade rumors and things like that. But personally, I would love to see Nick Castellanos back. And I know it goes against what this team needs as far as plate discipline and patience, but Nick Castellanos, like I said, was the Phillies' most consistent hitter last year. And he was the only hitter really, other than you can make the argument for Bryce, but the only guy who showed up offensively in the postseason last year. So that is why today we're thankful for Nick Castellanos. Hopefully he'll be back. I'd love to see them get more guys with the swag that Nick Castellanos, I almost called him Nick Swagger. Nick Castellanos has, but we are thankful for you, Nick Castellanos. Hopefully you'll be back, but if not, thank you for a few great years here and a couple of postseason runs. It is, like I mentioned, it's not too late to donate to our gift and food drive. The information you need is in the description. Or you can reach out to me, but all proceeds will benefit the Maddie N. Dixon Community Cupboard. On this day in 2008, Eagles beat the Cardinals 48-20 on Thanksgiving night, starting an improbable journey into the postseason and all the way to the NFC Championship game. We'll have more on the Sixers and Flyers tomorrow. Hopefully we get some good positive updates on Devontae Smith tomorrow. Remember, there will be an episode tomorrow. It just will be more on a weekend schedule as we prepare for Thanksgiving. Don't forget to go to Philly Goat, do some shopping, and use that promo code Jim Montgomery. Black Friday is coming up, so get a head start. You don't have to go out and deal with the crowds at the mall. Just sit at your computer, buy some coffee, throw a Saquon Barkley shirt in there. Boom, you got everybody's gifts covered. All right, this has been This Day in Philly Sports History for November 27th, 2024. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Wednesday, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.